impressions.
We may or may not embarrass somebody from stage.
Do the impression, because we're not downstairs, so.
Should I get that way?
Yeah, the
We
fans
can
don't
tell
know.
we're around here.
Okay, so this is a request from a fan
Top
for Neil to
secrets.
do our favorite impression of his.
Country girl, shake it for me, girl, shake it for me, girl, shake it for me.
Yes.
I'm Luke Bryan.
So that's a big impression.
Where's he?
Okay, Hunter Kelly.
Hey y'all. Outnumber Hunger, you guys are doing a concert. You're coming to the band pretty soon at the New England. Tell me about that and that whole program.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, we had the opportunity to work with Outnumber Hunger, and one of the contests that they were giving away was for someone to, tell their story of how they've impacted their area, and then the band Perry shows up in their hometown, kind of like we did in ours, and puts a spotlight on them and what they've done for their community.
And it kind of holds hands with our Pioneer project as well, because one of the big spirits behind this album is, there's still in the world around us in our own lives, there's so many great things left to be done. And so it really ties into that Pioneer spirit as well. And
Jesse.
What's it like having your own cupcake at
Kimberly's loving it.
I am a confection enthusiast. And so when Gigi came to us with the idea, we actually have a song on the record called I'm a Keeper. And so we were talking about different flavors. And in the song, we talk about me wanting to change my name to Cherry, which is a true statement. I've always loved that name. Wish I had fiery red hair.
Yes.
So we decided to work cherry into the flavor in the Gigi's cupcake and came up with very Perry chocolate covered cherry.
Yeah.
Very, very chocolate
cherry.
cherry.
Chocolate cherry. Yes, because chocolate covered cherries are also our favorite candy. And so we actually got to taste test the
We did.
cupcakes.
Many of them, actually.
Yes, and Reed actually, you kind of concocted the recipe between the two.
Well, one of the two options had real cherries in it, the other had like a cherry icing. So I had the bright idea of combining the two. And so that's how you get the
Very, very chocolate cherry
But I think one reason why Kimberly was so excited, because she said if she didn't do music, she would, by day, be a baker of like cakes and stuff, and by night be a private investigator. So she kind of, she's living through Gigi her other life goals.
Congratulations on the Teachers Award that you guys have
Thank you.
got. How does it feel to have country music become so mainstream, especially on the scene, and having such a huge following as you guys have?
A lot of folks have asked us recently, what about all this country music on pop radio and in pop culture? I think it's a really exciting time to be part of our format because anything and everything goes. It's a genre that houses folk country, traditional country, pop country, one of our favorite brands of country music, rock and roll country, and we've really gotten to work those roots in. So country music, the family, it's got a huge umbrella. There are a lot of sounds that fall underneath it, and I do feel like it's really invading pop culture right now. You see more and more kids being attracted to it. I think, maybe it's the stories of country songs, but it's definitely the spirit that I think that folks are really attracted to right now.
Sheila.
Hi guys, my name
Hey,
is
how are
Nice to
you?
meet you. Back in Vegas, when I had the chance to speak to you, you all say the word single. So now you have a song called Better Day 2. Where does the idea and the sentiment came from to write a song about getting married?
Well, Better Day 2 is certainly about lifelong commitment. And my favorite thing about this song is the backwards written lyric. Our mother actually gave our father a Valentine's Day card this year that had 2 skeletons on it with these giant red hearts, and the caption said, "Till death do us part is for quitters." And that truly is the spirit behind Better Day 2. I think part of our job is we have felt deep down the emotions and the sentiments of all these songs. Of course, at some point in our lives, the 3 of us want that commitment, but we also see ourselves as chief storytellers. And I certainly am telling the story of a psychopathic, obsessed wife in that song, and it's been a real fun one. I don't mean to scare anybody. We've gotten so many comments on Twitter like, Kimberly, should we be scared of you? The answer is no, but I would love to tell a good story.
But on the other side of that, we've had actually several mothers who said, I'm getting my daughter to play this song at her wedding because it's the story of her life. And we're like, okay.
Not the reception,
Not
the ceremony.
but cool.
Still single though?
Yes.
Yes.
Leslie.
So you wrote a song for your mom on the album too. Can you talk a bit more about that?
song is it does cover these very wide and broad, examples. All the wars would be over because she'd make us all be friends. But we break it down to talking about her and her garden, and she really sleeps in a white nightgown. So, it probably was the most nerve-wracking song to play for somebody because it really was the first true song we had written to a specific person. But fortunately, we did get tears out of Mom and continue to.
Yeah, it was very intensely personal, and yeah, she did cry, but she cries all the time.
Yeah.
Happy tears, happy tears. But I think ultimately too, the spirit behind Mother Like Mine is one of unconditional love, because not everyone has the opportunity to be raised by a mother. I mean, even at our shows, we've seen so many foster families and such. There's different ways to shape family, but it truly is about unconditional love, and what that sort of spirit can bring and really, heal the world in some respects.
Question?
I heard of a show called The Road to Nashville. What's it been like for your road to Nashville?
Our road to Nashville has been
Long.
very long.
Yeah, it's good.
Yes, I know that we've only had songs on the radio for a couple of years now, but we celebrated 15 years traveling as a family this October. And so Rick and I were still in Superman pajamas when we got started.
Again, this was 15 years ago.
They moved to Avengers pajamas these days. But, that's not true.
No, it's not.
I don't think it's true, is it?
No.
But it's been amazing. We've played every single kind of venue you can imagine, where there were more people on stage and out in the crowd, when it's been stormy. I think all those things have made us into the artists we are today. I think nothing can surprise us at this point.
Well, I remember one show in particular in the early days. It was this father-son camp.
Yeah.
And
One father, one son.
yeah, one father and one son showed up, and so, like Neil said, there were more people on stage than out in the crowd. And those days we had 30 songs on the set list. We had no idea what we were doing, and I remember the little boy begging his dad to leave about halfway, in the middle of the set. And so I do think that all those moments have really made the road so rich and so wonderful. We haven't had any shortcuts, but it certainly makes this side of the road, that much more precious, and we still have such a long way to go. Oh, wow. Everybody's story is so different. I'm trying to think.
I love the fact that you have artists like, Brad Paisley, Tim McGraw, that still remain relevant even in, today's marketplace and what the current way music is. But then you have a lot of, new artists, stretching the boundaries of country music as well.
Well, and Eric Church, we're big fans of his and have been for a long time. And what I love about Eric is, his persistence as an artist, his, true to selfness with his art. And it's just so cool to see all of us, catch up to what he's always known about his artistry and what the fans have always known about it. It's really exciting to see him explode this year.
Juliet?
It's Juliet.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Juliet. San Diego.
As a female, I'm just wondering how you cope with heels all day long, girl. It's not even 9 o'clock in the morning.
My feet are very unhappy with me most days. And, but I'm a whopping 5'2", so, the world looks better at a little bit more height. So, I think the most dangerous heel experience I had was on the ACM Awards that we did one, and we popped up out of the toasters. That took me a long time to practice, but I was pretty proud of these shoes.
Yes, Kimberly looks up to Reed and me.
I do, literally.
Okay.
It's a good joke.
Thank you.
Lauren?
Y'all have been on the road with Rascal Flatts for a minute now, so talk about maybe the possibility of headlining your own tour. What kind of goodies y'all would want on the road with y'all?
Yes.
Yeah, well, we're even now planning, the staging for our tour because they'll be the 2014. We're planning on heading out on a tour of our own, starting up in Canada, and so now we're already starting to sketch out what the stage is going to look like. Talk about the set list a little and what sort of things we want to add to it.
And we're settling on acts that are going to come out and be a part of that road tour. We can't make any announcements yet, but soon, just right around the corner. It's exciting though. Live performance is our first love. It's what we were doing before we were doing interviews and writing songs, and so it's where we feel the most at home. And it's our recess, it's our playground, the stage. So we can't wait to build our own playground, if you will.
Are y'all excited about being bosses on our road?
Bosses, we're bossy all the
Bossy.
time. But it's amazing how much we get bossed around. I feel like we're great at following the leader ourselves. We have a great road crew. We hear all over the place that, you guys have such a wonderful team. And we're really proud of that because you guys see our three faces, but there's an army that makes this happen every day. it's just really great to be out with people that you love. And again, they're all adopted
Adopted
berries at
berries.
this point.
Hi guys, I gotta ask, you guys signed over 20,000 of your albums, so who gave up first?
I always give up
Yeah.
first.
I was like, Kimberly got done first before us. I think Neil was next, and I was dead last. But I remember whenever we decided or were contemplating whether or not we were going to do this, we actually got about 50 sheets of paper to sign them to see how long it would take. And it worked up to about a week, 2 weeks,
Yes, and
something like that.
it wasn't necessarily the physical strength that went into first, it was, the brain. So at some point I was like, hey y'all, my name is Kimberly, because I couldn't remember how to spell my name anymore by the end of them. It was fun to do though.
In the past, you've always had some fun covers, other than the Luke Run that you're talking about. Like Fat Bottom Girl,
Yes.
the Fun Song. Any other special surprises for this week?
Oh, my goodness. Well, Fat Bottom Girls is a staple these days. But we're always working on mashups. We're like the kings of the mashup.
Yeah.
Trying to think something.
We're doing, we singing our set right now, Dolly Parton's I Will Always Love You, so we pull that in.
Yeah.
We tie it with All Your Life. It's
Yeah.
always a cool moment.
You guys get to experience CMA Festival, obviously the whole year, but especially CMA Festival as a family, and a lot of these people come in town with their families for CMA Fest. So what advice do you give to these people while they're here? What should they do? Who should they see? What should they go to, kind of thing?
I think there should be a CMA Fest survival kit with a rule book on how to survive. Bottle of water, of
Obviously,
course.
bring an umbrella.
A beach towel, umbrella, but this is one of the most fun weeks of the year because literally people from all over the world come and celebrate their love of country music, and you get to feel that energy here. It's an exciting week.
Well, we've had the opportunity to play at many multi-genre award shows, and whenever you tell people in pop world or rock world, they're always shocked and intrigued by the idea of all country music fans coming to one place, and all of them talking about how they would love for something like that to take place in their world as well. So it feels really special and it's truly unique to country music.
Last question, Dirk.
Hey guys,
Hi.
Kimberly, I always wanted to ask you one thing about Done, because in the end, you've grown, and I love it. I think it's so hilarious. How many takes, and who did you think of?
It was a very inspired grunt at the end of Done.
Yes.
But I do think it's actually because I busted the line before it that I was singing. And so I was just like, I was frustrated with myself. So yes, we spent hours, we spent days
Yes.
over the arrangement of Done, hours recording it. That was a one-take wonder.
Okay.
And it is the one part of the song that everybody
Good job.
mentions.
Yeah.
Everyone loves it, so I think we're going to start a grunting contest
We are.
online to see who has the
That
best
would be
grunts.
perfect for the fan party.
Yeah.
Okay.